Well, hello and welcome back once again to Patrol Gripply's farming guide for the month of May in LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed. Now, I want to come to you first with the calendar for upcoming events and kind of go over some of that stuff. I do want to go over a couple other things right quick from this past update. We do have a couple other things coming out, but they have been delayed for whatever reason. Biggest one being the tournaments. That one's going to come like mid-May-ish. No exact date yet, but they said about mid-May. I believe that's also supposed to be when Gear 8 is coming as well as maybe... Oh, it's also the Majestro's Tower Enough, so people waiting for stuff from this update, that's when that one's supposed to be coming. I believe those all supposed to come around the same time too, so like that update should bring all of those. Just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention in case you're wondering where like half of the stuff mentioned here in this update is at, because half of this update didn't actually come with the update. I'm gonna be honest with you. So if you're waiting on that, that's what happened there. But now we'll move on over to the event calendar. Not too much. We have from April 30th to May 23rd. We have the collection journey, not collectibles journey. So that's gonna last a decent while. So that's good, cause like I'm probably not gonna be able to get both of them even just unlocked from this event with how lesser designed it was than some previous ones. I'm just gonna say that for it. Then we also have a rerun of the Ghosts and Garmadons events. It's just a brick pace for the Ghostbusters. No idea if it's actually going to be reworked or not. I know they said they wanted to do it at some point, but I don't think it's going to be this one. Next update is supposed to be focused on like updating some already existing events, so it's probably going to get updated after that, in my own opinion. Unless they went ahead and did this, it didn't sound like they did, and they haven't mentioned anything that I have heard yet about that. So personally, I feel like this is not really going to get updated. Same thing for the Primo event. We do have the Primo Master event rerunning from May 20th to May 31st, which I guess is nice if you haven't got him, get him. But if you're like most other people who've already gotten him, if he doesn't have another node, that's just a nothing time. So hey, maybe there's going to be a Slimer rerun after the Primo one ends. They normally rerun the Brick Pace and Slimer Master event at the same time, or around the same time. So maybe we'll get that one at some point, which would be really nice. Though I still can't really do any more with it. If I really want to get Slimer, I need the Spooky Brick Pace to run again, because the Ghostbusters, it just, I'm going to be honest, it sucks to get them. So, yay. So that's just kind of our event. It's not that great. But we are supposed to have tournaments drop at sometime mid-May, so that'll give us something new to do. And we might have some other stuff start in June, but really until June is, I don't know. I don't really care for the Ghostbusters event, so I'm not that excited. Don't hate me for it, I just don't get excited by that, so there's just really nothing there. Primo is probably not going to have any extra nodes, I don't feel like, yet. I mean, I feel like if they did, they would have announced that in the updates. That would have been kind of smart to announce that in the announcements for this update. But that's just my own opinion. So I feel like they probably didn't do that because that would have been smart to have done. So I feel like there's not an update to him because they haven't announced it. And if they would have updated him, they would have announced that in the announcements. I'm not saying that they're stupid and they just didn't announce it, even though they did do it. I just feel like they didn't do it, and that's why there's nothing said that they did do it. So that's really it for the calendar. It's not really that great of a calendar, honestly, in my opinion. But hey, one of the events I don't care for. The other one I've already completed, so I can't do. And the other one's very pay to win, or pay to do, not free to play friendly. Let's put it that way. Okay, now moving on to the second part of this sort of video is just going over what I recommend farming based on what we have right now. Well, if you go on over into here, if you've made it far enough, I mean, you should probably be able to see this. Otherwise, you're not likely to be able to actually get to the second chapter. Is you basically just need to use chicken soup guy, hot dog man, corn cob guy, Like at least swap between guy, man, guy, and cactus skull. So really, I recommend just farming those. Of course, you need to farm corncob guy from this particular event. So like, hey, you can't really do any other recommendations for farming him. But yeah, just to kind of really focus on chicken soup guy, who can be farmed from, I believe, Pip Town's 3rd and 4th chapters. Hot Dog Man, who I know can be farmed with the first page of Monolith Waste. He might be able to farm somewhere else, but I'd recommend Monolith Waste. Cactus Girl, same way, first page of Monolith. So I think she actually is the first node on there too, even. So I highly recommend farming those, because you kind of just need to have them on here. And getting them stronger will certainly be a help on here. If you are struggling on the city node, this is a really big one. The other ones, to me, I find easy. I know the space was super easy and castle was easy, but hey, I'm a King's Court castle. Highly recommend King's Court team for that, which is Barnabas, Brutus, Magisto, Go-Go, and Verda. Very easy. This one, I mean, I technically use, I guess, kind of not free-to-play space. Jens, Gorwell, and Kotarski, but hey, I have those unlocked, so might as well use them. But for city here, let's see, let's go over to my city team right quick. For anybody who is having some struggles on that, this is the team I used it. I know I already quit the stream while I was actually attempting it, but I did go back and do it off stream. I used the team at the top up there, though I did swap out, of course, well, I used Primo, Aurora, Ash, Sal, and Chef. I was going to use Businessman by swapping out for Primo just to try it out. It worked with Primo, but I believe it still would have easily have worked with Businessman. I don't really think Primo made that much of a difference, just good RNG. But this was the team I used here. It was very tough. I had to level up a bunch of these figs. I was going to probably level up Chef a couple times as well too. But I was able to get past it, so I didn't have to keep on investing more gold into it. Highly recommend probably investing into a good city team anyways going forward, because it seems like they like to use a city node and make it very, very hard, but you need very, very, very strong city figs. So it's probably worth investing in them for the future of any other kind of specialty brick paces or anything else we have come out, because you'll likely need them. Also here, Iggy and Minor Clay are decent with some stuff, so it might be worth investing to them too, but I feel like the up here is pretty good. Trent, I like him for his anti-tanks. I know he's not that great for anti-tanks, but I like it. He does a little bit more damage to tanks. I kind of like him a little bit over Primo, but hey, if you do actually get the Primo event updated and get another star for him, I think that'll definitely bring him up. But if you can get 2 more stars, like, yeah. Also, my castle's ready to go. Speaking of which, if you want to get Primo, you need to farm up your castle figs. And it's fairly easy. I'm going to be completely honest with you, it is exceptionally easy to do that node. As you can see, these are the figs I used. I think at that time, Magisto, Barnabas, Brutus, Go-Go, and I think I might even threw on Storm just for the fun of it for the 5-star. But like, yeah, of course, I've been playing a while, so I have lots of options, but like Headley and Magisto should be good. Only hard part would probably be the 7-star node, like I did for the scroll event, because you can't get Magisto to 7-star, so that's going to make things a little bit harder, but you still probably can use Go-Go, Barnabas, Brutus, Verda, Storm if you want to, Headley if you feel like it, maybe York if you want to go crazy, Basil and Willow if you have them at 7 stars, Willow feels a little bit hard to get 7 stars. But yeah, just work on 5 of these. As long as you have Magisto, it should be able to be good if you want to just get him unlocked at the 5-star node. No idea about any 6-star node, but hey, probably just those same figs at 6 stars will do it. 7 stars will probably need a little bit more theory crafting. I mean, I don't think it would be too hard. But it could be something crazy that requires Willow, because you won't be able to have Magisto at the 7 stars to be able to do that one. But that's basically all you need to know for City, is have 5 5-star castle figs. Have them upgraded too, not just at 5 stars, maybe at least level 50 is probably good. Gear 5, Gear 6 would be nice. And you need 1 set of castle at 5 stars as well. Guided End should probably do it with what you're using. Trader Transport would be nice too, but that's probably only if you're using Willa and or Basil. Majestra's Tower also probably will really work, though at that time they should have the Nuff out for it, which we have yet to hear what the Nuff will actually do. So I don't know if it might not be as good, but it still might work, because I mean it should still probably work with Magical and or Castle Figs, so you have a good selection of them here. Ghostbusters event, all you really need is Ghostbusters, but you get those from the event, so like no real recommendations for pre-farming. I guess you could work on gearing the ones you have up, but that's really it. There's nothing else pre-play you can do for that. As for other stuff that I recommend farming, as I said, let me just check the first map of this again. Yeah, Hot Dog Man's here. You also have Cactus Girl over here. 2 of the required collectible figs you have to use. Hiker might also be good farming with his reworks with his new collectible synergy and stuff. Might be a solid pick to farm. Get them up. Hey, they're map 1. They're very cheap. Go ahead and do those. You can do them all in like 1 or 2 energy refills. Really nice. You also have Fitness Instructor, who has some nice kind of reworks, and she works well with Super Wrestler, though I guess kind of good luck getting him if you're free to play. But hey, she's probably worth farming. She's here. I'd probably recommend farming her here versus I think you can get her in a campaign as well. I would recommend buying her. But yeah, you can get her in Glyph Hunt. I don't know if I'd say Glyph Hunt. I mean, unless maybe you really need these, which I don't right now myself. I'd probably recommend farming her there. And then you come over to this node. There's not too many else collectibles left. I think there's Zombie, but Zombie said they didn't get reworked. Hopefully he will be eventually. So hey, he might be worth somebody farming up to 7 stars for a Spooky All-Star event, which we sadly haven't heard about getting rerun, but hopefully maybe next month. Because I feel like the next event they're going to run might be the Spooky Brick Pace. It's kind of next up on our list to be reran. So hey, maybe he'll get a rework then too, because he could really use one. As you see, I'm ready to 7-star him myself, but he might be a good one to farm too. Doesn't we have any collectible synergies and stuff right now? But hey, maybe he'll get it one day. Like I said, who knows? Farm that. Like I said, focus on maybe some other collectibles too. Of course, bring up the gear. You know, just farm whoever gear. Highwayman is fairly decent right now, and he works with some stuff with some collectible team stuff. Like, hey, he might be worth farming up there, get him a little bit higher. He's of course, like I said, a little bit expensive, but hey, he might be worth it. He's a good attacker early on, and collectibles now work a little bit better, so it might be a better idea to farm him now than it once was. See, even some more Chicken Suit guy. Trying to see if there was anything else over here that was really good for this. I mean, hey, you could also farm Hiker here. If you're early game, I would probably recommend farming Hiker, because he's gotten better, and hey, he lasted me a whole long time in the early game, and so he's just going to last you a little bit longer here now. Demolition Dummy is another one that might be good to farm. Of course, also Yuppie. Yuppie's a really interesting fig. One of the few revivers, and he does so in a less healery way than Aurora, so hey, I think that makes him pretty good there. Works on some different kind of niche. Demo Dummy, it's getting a little bit better. I think he's still a little bit bugged, or he had been a little bit bugged, so he's not as good as he might seem right now. Of course, if you use him with Hiker, because some kind of weird healing thing with him is going on, it makes him kind of hard to be killed. But I would farm him, of course, from here. Would highly recommend not farming him with the Big Expedition store. He's just much easier to get from these 2 maps. As you see here, we have, of course, Fitness Instructor, but I would still recommend farming her from Monolith Waste. Especially if you want to farm some stuff, hey, I focus all energy on that stuff from there, instead of like splitting it out to other things. So there's just a couple things to farm there. Like I said, just kind of work on your collectibles, if you feel like it. There's some different things you can do there. If you're a newer player, they are getting a little bit better, so it might be a little bit more fun to work with, a little bit better investment right now, and you will need some for some of the collectible things from the current event, especially the ones that have to use specific figs. Definitely work on those if you need to have them be a little bit stronger. And you know, I guess also work on your castle if you need to bring them up. They're fairly easy to get in my opinion. I mean, I guess some of them are, because like Brutus is a arena store farm, but hey, that's who I farmed up first in there, and I don't regret it. I really do like having him. There's a couple things to go over in here for my recommendations for right now. Brickspedition store, either I can split between Hank and Ninjago, depends on what you want. I think Dojo is still a better set than the DigiJ's Dragon. So I'd probably recommend getting that to 5 stars. I think it would be very useful to have that max for whenever you might need to have a Ninjago thing, or you have like a Ninjago only node, if I remember correctly, in the anniversary event. So it was really nice to have that ready to go. But after you get done, Hank's probably a good one. Of course, you always go with tier 3 set tools. I'd say set tools are better than the elixirs because you can get them from somewhere else. But maybe go with those if you really want to get them. But Hank was probably a decent one, but like, I don't really need that many more pirates right now. If you're early, he's probably a really good investment, better than some of the other pirates. But if you're like me, he's kind of late game. You don't really need more pirates right now for what little bit of better he is than some other ones. Mashup store, really, I would probably either farm Verda or Businessman right now. Verda gets you I think a pretty decent attack. I mean, she's not super high ranked, but hey, she's good for castle. King's Court attack too, so it gives you that speed boost. It's really good there. And if you want to get Primo, I recommend farming her from here. I think she might be available somewhere else, but hey, she's available here for relatively cheap. I mean, hey, you get this from just playing in Monolith Waste, so I'd recommend going for her. Trent might also be another good one to go with right now to get up another city fig for your city team, to maybe at least have some options, because city seems to be what they kind of want to do now for like really hard difficult nodes or like the roadblock ones, because I feel like all the other ones are more easily done than the city nodes, but city doesn't really have that many good options. But it's always a good pirate healer, but there's nothing that you really need pirates for right now, and Zane's just Ninjago, and he's honestly like available in a bunch of other events, so like I might even recommend just skipping him here, just getting him from like some of the other stuff. It just feels weird how they put him everywhere. He's like one of the more available figs, which is odd, but it's just my own personal opinion. Guild store, my own recommendation here is probably to farm Lego House right now. It does a lot of very interesting stuff with collectibles, and collectibles might be, I won't say a new meta, but a new option to use for people that have some of the better ones. I don't think if you don't get Super Wrestler Conquer Up Guy up real high, you're probably not going to have too big of a collectibles meta, but you might have it in some newer arenas. This is probably a really good one to work on right now, especially since it's still currently exclusive to this. We thought it was going to be in the event store or have a node, but apparently not. So I put this probably highest priority. Next up, oddly, might be Clay, because I've heard he's really good. I've always liked using him when I have used him. He just gives you another interesting kind of attacker option for City, and I think he gives a couple buffs with one of his ability, which allows, if you have Arctic Ice Cloud upgrade enough, to give, I think, some heal over time to everybody when they get those buffs, so it's kind of nice. It acts a little bit as a second healer. Storm is an okay option, I guess, if you want to go for the Primo node. I mean, it's a little bit costly to get her, so I guess it kind of depends on if you can actually get her up high enough by then or not. I don't really like her that much in the game. I feel like she needs to have a little bit of a rework, because she has like a niche that she doesn't really do well, or like she kind of has to have Magisto giving her payback so she can heal when she has a super long taunt up, and she doesn't have King's Court, so she doesn't like speed buff anybody, which is a little bit of a detriment there. Like, I kind of rather have Verda over her, personally speaking. Other one I'd say maybe might be good to Spooky Girl. I really like her. She's a solid collectible fig. She also can remove taunt with one of her abilities, which might be really good. It gives you an option that some of the other ones don't have, so might be really good. Maybe she might get reworked whenever we get to Spooky getting like touched up again, because I feel like Zombie needs it. Maybe they might do some more stuff with her to make her work either better with Spooky Team or with collectibles. I just think she's a solid fig overall, but she doesn't have like a super great niche with anybody yet. So I would normally recommend farming her most because of how much I personally like her. But I think right now with other things working better, there's just better ones, like a Lego House Collectibles, a Mine of Clay for any future hard city stuff, and Storm if you just really want to get Primo and she's one of your options you can use to get him. I feel like she's a little bit of a lesser option to perhaps get Primo with, but if you are at the point where you can do that, feel free to get her. Hey, you might really like her. I mean, I kind of like her design, but she's just personally is not as good as the other castle options. Arena store, seems like they're getting rid of the price changes here they were going to do at some point, so that's kind of good. Would like to see what the increased payouts were going to be to match it. Just see if it was going to be, well, I was ranked in Arena, I was going to be getting more currency, so it'd actually work out better for me or not. But it seems like they're not doing that, they never gave me more information about it, so hey, it works out I guess for everybody. But you see right now myself, I kind of have most of the stuff in here done. New player, always go, I recommend Scarlet. She is the best pirate tank in the game. And I mean both pirate tanks are in here anyways, so I would take her because she's better than Valiant, especially if you're new starting out. She's just a better investment, help out lots more with the weekly Pig Legs Treasure, I think is the event name. But the one that gives you gold. She's really good for that. Highly recommend doing that. Better than Valiant, so I would say just go with her first. Screw any of the other figs in here, go her. If you are new. If you are in a little bit later and looking for something else, Lloyd right now is pretty good with some of the meta stuff. Might change a little bit in the future. Who knows? I might not rank him up as highly as I would like a month ago with them nerfing Majestro's Tower, though we still yet to know what the actual nerfs are there. Brutus, I feel like will be a good fig to help out with Primo if you're wanting to lock that. And I just really love him as a fig overall anyway. I think he has a really nice kit. Better for you to control him than the AI though. But hey, he has a lot of stuff he can do there. Though, the best one I might recommend to farm right now, if you're not farming Scarlet for whatever reason, probably would be Ashe. Because she is a top tier city unit, a great attacker, works super well on a city team, and is your main source of damage, I would say, in any city team that you will be running. At least if it's solely focused on city, like one of these hard node tag city only nodes. I might recommend farming her up there, at least gives it 7 stars, so you have a really strong attacker, have her maxed out for whenever is needed next, so she can hit a little bit harder, because I think like that is really needed for the city nodes they give you nowadays. So honestly, I might put her up there as top for a farm. One other thing I do want to mention is they have hinted or teased it, the next update for the game will also have a focus on the Imperials, with them getting reworked and apparently supposed to be adding in 2 new figs for them. No idea who they'll add in because I don't feel like there's that much extra figs left for the Imperial faction that there's not already in the game, personally speaking. But with that, maybe Valiant will be reworked to be better, or just work better with an Imperial team to make Imperials work better as a unit together versus the much easier to acquire basic Pirate and Buccaneer figs. But if you are really interested in running Imperials, he might be somebody to go ahead and prepare and farm in advance for whenever that rework happens, cause there might be some really fun stuff going on with Imperials once they get reworked to be made better. Finally, the Master Store. Really farm whoever you want in here. Major Catastrophe I think has gone up quite a bit on the reasons to farm him with the last Quincy event. Not having him in, I think he might have been available in a bag though or something, but you couldn't just farm him straight up from that event. So if you do want him, it might be back to this store. You can still get him from regular bags, but to rely on that is just like saying, oh, just buy some bags and get gold will for it. So that's just not going to really work. So hey, he might be another one to really get. Right now I'm not farming him because like I can get 10 tiles from a bag if I buy a bag. So like I don't want to finish maxing him out, then buy a bag and get like 50 tiles or 10 tiles, whatever for him. I've been lucky getting him from bags. Solid Fig really helps out a lot, I feel like, on space teams. Really strong, like he does decent damage, decent debuffs, and he has, I think, a lot more health than everybody else on the team. Like, he kind of should be the tank. I wish I could give him tank, or not tank, give him taunt, but I think much better than Locust, really. So he's just a really good Fig. Willa is still probably the best one in here. Magical, spooky, Fright Nights, lots of different sort of synergies there. If she's just really strong with some of the stuff she does. It would help out a lot with the Spooky All-Star event, which I feel like would probably be the first one of those All-Star events to get reran. Jin's is decent, but I feel like he's the least good Fig here. I really think Major Catastrophe is better than Jin's, but Jin's is alright. Hey, he'll help out with your space team a little bit too. Has some interesting abilities going on, but I don't know if his kit is like entirely that great versus some other things, but hey, that kind of sums up Space. Space isn't that good still in this scam. I can't wait for Space to get reworked part 2. But yeah, that's what I'd kind of do here. Of course, you can always buy tier 3 set tools, maybe buy yourself some apples, whatever. Hopefully these will be made more accessible at some point, so you don't have to farm them from here. Just really would like not do that, and I currently don't, because I'm just waiting for them to be made more available. Tier 3 set tools though might be really worth it. You need them for lots of things, especially for some of these all-star events they have coming up. Would be very useful there. That's just really my recommendations based off of the current updates and what's coming up to farm there. I hope you have found this video helpful, and if you would like to see more of these in the future, just let me know in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Tor Gripply, signing off. Bye and have a wonderful day. And let me know what you're looking forward to the most later on this update cycle or with this event calendar coming out. Bye-bye.